quarantine from the Scenic City Iron Paradise, Clint?
Well, I told you I was going to do, every time I do one of these, I feel like the technical side of things are not my strengths. I feel like I'm letting me down.
Okay.
But I told you I was going to tell the listeners or viewers these are short videos, but you're working out. We interrupted. And so you've got plenty of adrenaline flowing, but you're going to have to yell because you don't have a mic, man. You're just in the middle of getting ready to hit a lunchtime workout.
Yeah, so I'll try to talk a little bit louder and hopefully I'm not screaming at everybody. Yeah,
You're not. You're good.
You would think as an experienced over 1 year podcaster that I would have a microphone set up at my house, but I do not. So I apologize if my volume or if my voice is a little bit low. But yeah, I haven't started working out yet. I'm actually working from home today. I just wanted to come down here and open the garage door and try not to get stung by a yellow jacket as I have a conversation with you.
Man, is it not amazing to you though? We had so many days of rain, but man, we cannot complain about the weather the last week or so. It's been gorgeous.
Oh yeah, you know what? And I say I'm lucky enough I was able to buy my own home gym. That's why I keep mentioning it. But the fact that I can open my garage door now and just kind of listen to nature and work out and it be beautiful outside is a blessing.
All right, so I told you these videos will be kind of short. We won't keep you long, but I want to just throw some stuff out, and then you tell me, kind of bring me up to speed on it.
Okay.
And I tell you what, I just shared this, and the great thing about being live is I can go make sure we sound good. Hey, so do me a favor. Are you still doing your YouTube stuff?
Yeah, Chat with Gunner on YouTube, all one word.
Who was your most recent interview?
So the past 3 episodes have been myself and Chris McNally from Terminal 57.
Yeah.
So, and the reason is due to the coronavirus. Nobody wants to really come onto the show. I was going to have Matt Davis on the week of the shutdowns, like 3 weeks ago. And he's going to be busy and he's going to get with me after all this is done. But so me and Chris have been holding down the show and talking little conspiracies and breaking down the politics and just putting our tin hat on.
Dude, you should go listen to the Monica Perez one I did last week. I'm going to talk with her again this week. She hosts a podcast called The Propaganda Report. And if you want to go down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, and there's some she's got about the spin on the headlines.
Oh, yeah.
The Propaganda Report podcast is super. So just to let the folks listening or watching know, if you go check out Chat with Gunner on YouTube, you've had Daryl Patterson on. I've been lucky to be on. Yeah. You've had 5 or 6 guests that are really good conversations.
Yeah, Stephen Hargis from the Chattanooga Times Free Press, a sports editor, which we don't have a sports section anymore now due to the coronavirus. Yeah. But he actually came on the day before they shut that down. And, Daryl Patterson came on and told a bunch of his stories. You've been on there.
Daryl's good, man.
I have my buddy Taylor who came on. He runs a Vive for Women, a fitness center downtown, and then been kind of running wild with myself and Chris here the past few weeks talking a little conspiracies. It's fun.
I've noticed you've been posting a lot of your videos to LinkedIn, man. You've been on LinkedIn pretty heavy.
Yeah, I've had a LinkedIn since I've been in college. Just never really took advantage of it, and I always thought that LinkedIn was like the professional side and Facebook was the, you can be crazy side or whatever. And this year I was like, you know what? I'm just going to let everyone on LinkedIn see me be me. And if they want to do business with me, cool. If they don't want to do business with me, cool. But I'm not going to not be me just because, of a certain social media site.
See, but you're at that age where you can say that. I'm old, so I need people to do business with me. So I'm the step and fetch guy, man. I'm like, hey, I only have this much of a window to make it happen. Your window's big still, dude. You're young.
Well, and also I've seen success with it. So I'm in logistics, and I moved into sales and actually changed companies. But I didn't have any customers up until me kind of going outside of the box and letting everybody see my workouts and my language and the way I speak and my wrestling and all the stuff. So it's been pretty cool.
It's good when you can build a brand doing something you love and, your brand is kind of around your own energy and your own passion. That's always a good thing. That's very freeing.
Yeah, and it's good just to kind of be yourself. I I took the gloves off as far as like at work and the way I talk to customers and the way I talk to people. Like if you can't handle the way I'm going to talk to you, then we probably don't need to do business together anyway. So it's cool.
Right.
And some people don't like it, but some people, they appreciate it.
Well, when you get a customer that likes it, or a friend or a relationship that likes it, it's genuine, and you don't have to keep, that's one thing I've learned as I've gotten older, man. If you put up a facade when you start meeting people or doing business with people, it is tiresome, dude. You get tired. You have to keep that facade up, or you're worried they're not going to like you or do business with you. When in reality, I would rather have 10 people that know all my flaws, my goods, my bads, and say, yeah, we pick you over 10 people that think they know me but don't, because I can't keep that up for the rest of my life.
Yeah, man. And that was me. Like I got rid of my Twitter, my old Instagram, and like all these things where I had like a bunch of followers on, not a bunch, but a lot more than I have now. Just kind of started fresh in 2020. And just, man, if you want to follow me, follow me. If you want to support me, support me. But if you don't, I really don't care, because I want the followers, the people that actually care about me.
Listen, look, first of all, talk louder. Second of all, don't act like a badass. Don't even come home and act like a badass. Just back up, man. We know that you love watching the Homework Channel. And
I do.
I do too. It's
I
hard.
can talk louder.
Yeah, no, you're good. Hey, all right. So we talked about LinkedIn. I'm just going to go through some other things. First of all, we've talked about this on podcast, right? But very rarely, and we don't. I know we're not going to spend a ton of time on it, but a lot of people know you through wrestling.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
I think it's always good when we get to tell people how your take on wrestling is. When do you think the prime sweet spot of wrestling was, or is it now? And give everybody your top 3 to 5 favorite wrestlers. I know we've had the conversation, but we have new people that may see this video down the road.
Yeah. So, I mean, for me, the sweet spot of wrestling was the Attitude Era. And that's when I started watching wrestling. So, 97, 98, 99, Monday Night Raw, Monday Night Nitro. But is it as big now as it was then, viewership wise, as far as social media and this new competition with All Elite Wrestling? Maybe kind of having the same type of wrestling boom. Now, am I the fan that they're marketing to right now? No, I'm not. I don't enjoy any of it. So I think they're targeting a different audience, which is cool. Maybe I'm just not the wrestling fan anymore. But as far as old school, my top 3 to 5 wrestlers, I mean, I think I've told you this before. Not the Undertaker, the Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Goldberg, guys like that, guys that I could kind of Sting, guys that I could relate myself to and want to kind of be like as I grew up.
Okay, so real quick shout out, and then I'll give you some of mine because I want to relate to the older group that may be tuning in. Shout out to Dwayne Gass. He's listening. He said, hey, it's a great tag team. What's up, Dwayne? Hey, Dwayne Gass, I saw you on social media the other night, dude. I'm glad you're back, and you did a great job. Very nostalgic, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. And this guy would be a great guy to have on your show one day, Dwayne, or one time.
Yeah,
anyway,
let's do it. Go Mox.
Huh?
I said, go Mox. He's a Mox.
There you go. So I only grew up in the era where I grew up like Barb Armstrong, Mr. Wrestling 1 and Mr. Wrestling 2, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, the Road Warriors, and then by the time, I hope he almost got you. He almost got you. He's attracted to them big old shoulders, man. Put a shirt on, dude. He won't bother you. But that back when, then I kind of stopped. I like The Rock, Stone Cold. If you go right after Stone Cold, that's when I stopped watching wrestling. But man, from the 70s and 80s, Saturdays, we had Goulas was the announcer. It was such a good era, I think, of wrestling. And when I talk about it, I know a lot of people roll their eyes, but you can roll your eyes, people, but daggum well that you watched it and you know who they were. Everybody knows if I go, woo, they know who I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. You can't walk into any sports arena without hearing woo ever. Yeah. You always hear it. Every sports arena all across the country.
And right now, if I were to say the son of a plumber, everybody in the world's going to know I'm talking about Dusty Rhodes. They just know what I'm talking about. So we've had the conversation about the greatest entrances, and I think we both agree. I love Stone Cold. Goldberg to me is one of the best ever. But I'm a little partial to the Road Warriors. Hey, dude, what do you think about the possibility of a season with no football?
I
Isn't that
think
sad?
I think that it's very possible. I think that it might be very realistic this year. And for me, I played Division I football, and a lot of people are probably going to think I'm crazy when I say this. I could really care less if there's a football season this year. I know a lot of people would freak out if there wasn't football because that's what they live their life for. They live their life to come in on Monday morning and talk about the Vols or talk about the Bulldogs or talk about Roll Tide or whatever they want to do. I could really care less about it. I'm just kind of burnt out with football. I enjoy football. I root for the Mocs when it comes to football. But I think it might be refreshing to just go a year without sports. As long as there's UFC and wrestling, I'm cool.
Well, I'll tell you, I would, and I'm going to try to find it. I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but I would love to find a channel or where they actually do replays of like Saturday morning wrestling. You got reruns of cartoons. They always show these old movies. I would love to find a place that shows old reruns of Saturday morning wrestling from like 1975 to 1995 or 1990, where I could just click on and go watch how cheesy Tommy Wildfire Rich was.
Well, if you have the WWE Network for $9.99, I think it's actually free for your first month. You can watch all that stuff. They have the entire collection, the entire library of all the old wrestling.
I love wrestling. There is zero chance I pay $10 a month to watch it though. No,
I feel you.
Yeah. I got other stuff for $10 to get to. Okay. Hey, what are you binge watching, dude? Not your homework. Are you binge watching anything on TV?
Man, what are we going through? We've went through so much for so many good shows. The last really good show I watched was the Outsider, which came on HBO. Fantastic show. Kind of like supernatural type boogeyman type show, but really good. But as far as like just throwing something on TV and watching, I've been watching Royal Pain on Netflix. It's like a doctor show from like USA Network. I don't know. I don't really watch.
Do you have Netflix?
Yeah, I have Netflix and Prime and Hulu. So, but mainly it's for the little man at home. He loves to watch all those, Paw Patrol and all the different cartoons, Spirit and all that. I watch more cartoons than I watch any other thing else because of him.
Dude, there was a 10-year period in my life where I could sing the theme to Arthur. Oh God, I'm gonna mess it up now. Clifford the Big Red Dog.
Yeah,
I knew all of I just knew all of it. Dora the Explorer. I knew all that. After he goes to bed one night, if you've got Netflix, tune on to the Peaky Blinders.
Yeah. Okay. So one of my best friends told me about that a few years ago. I guess it's in a few seasons now.
Oh yeah, 5 or 6 seasons. Yeah.
I've heard it's incredible. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and really start binge watching it. But yeah, you're right. So I'm always like changing the channel for him all day as I'm kind of working and moving around the house. And then at the end of the night, about 8, 9 o'clock, I'm finally able to relax, sit down, and like put something on the television.
So a couple things that I've noticed. First of all, about habits. I'm starting. It's going to sound weird, but I talked about this with you when I was on your show. When I look back on my life, when things are going really good, I can always tell. I look back and go, I had control of my habits, right? And when things are going bad, I look back and go, I had no control of my habits. The bad habits had control of me. The last 3 weeks, actually, it's been the last 4, because I started right before the quarantine. My habits have gotten much better.
Great.
I've lost some weight. Well, and the reason I'm bringing that up is, have you noticed? Because you're a pretty disciplined guy. You're young. You have a good head on your shoulders. But even no matter what age you are, no matter how together you are, I'm sure there's things you have gone, man, I really am glad I get to focus on this new habit or something. Are you developing stuff like that?
I don't know if I'm developing new habits. I'm able to call audibles with habits that I've had for years and just try to figure out how to make them work through my daily life. So the first issue I had with this whole quarantine was, as long as the gym stays open, I should be okay, I think. And then it was like a Thursday. I went to the gym that morning, and the guy at the sports barn, Don Bowman, shout out there. He was like, yeah, we're going to be good. Later that evening, they said they're shutting down the gym. So I immediately started like calling an audible, trying to figure out how am I going to work out, because that's my main habit. That's like my therapy. That's what grounds me. That's what gets my day going.
Yeah.
And so I went ahead and bit the bullet and threw down the cash and put together my own home gym. Now I'm going to get rid of my gym membership and I'm just going to work out here. So I'm usually a wake up early guy, 4 a.m., because I have to go to the gym before I go to work. But now my schedule's changed a little bit. I'm sleeping in a little bit. I'm getting a little bit more rest. I'm feeling a little bit better, and I'm working out in the afternoons. So if anything, my habit has been get more sleep, which is strange to say, but you need it. Like you really do need sleep.
Well, and two, that you said that, I did I have the radio show Marketing Mix Radio, and I did hey, everybody send me some tips on working from home now. And one of the things that more than one person said, and I really liked, was working from home is giving them the opportunity to be very productive because they now can work around their energy level. So in the mornings, if they're super productive and focused between 6 and 9, they do that. And then if they need to take an hour break and go walk the dog or work out, they don't feel guilty because they know they're going to come back, or maybe they make that hour and a half up, 2 hours up, because they feel another burst of energy between 6 and 7 or 6 and 8 that night. So it's kind of giving everybody a new perspective on what does it really mean to be busy versus productive.
Man, I'm the guy, and the people at work might hate me when I say this. I work with a pretty small office, about 5 of us, but I'm the guy that just doesn't understand why you have to be in an office setting to get work done. So I'm in sales, and the way my whole system works is I just got to bring in freight. I got to bring in loads for the guys to book. So it really doesn't matter if I'm at the office or I'm at home how I get it done. And I've been able to get freight still while I'm at the house. I wake up, I do a little bit of work. I fast. I'm a big proponent of fasting. Mm-hmm. So I'll fast until 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. and just whenever I really get tired. And then that's when I have my first meal. So I guess that's another habit that I have. But yeah, you can get so much more stuff done around the house while you're working in like little 10, 15-minute breaks, if that makes sense. You can work for a while, do some laundry. Work for a while, clean a little bit. Work for a while, have some food. Like you can just you're so much more flexible.
I told when I do some sales stuff or some speaking for sales teams, I've told managers this before. If you've not been in sales before, and it's not just sales, but that's the world I lived in the most, and understand that salespeople work in spurts. I mean, they are super focused. They are digging mentally. It's exhausting because you're doing it 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. And then you'll see 3 or 4 of them shooting the breeze around the coffee maker. They'll be outside. At the talk radio station, we'd be outside shooting basketball for 20 minutes. And everybody's like, they're wasting time. No, I just made 25 sales calls and closed $60,000 worth of deals. I'm tired. I need to have a space. I tell it's almost like mental cartilage. I need to have space between this bone and this hard spot so I can go back to working on it in 20 minutes. So I agree.
Yeah, there's just something about having to be in one place for 8 or 9 hours just to say that you're there to pretend like you're working. When really, I hate to say this, but really, as far as sales goes, if you're working extremely hard for 4 hours, you're getting a lot of stuff done.
And you're tired. You're mentally tired.
4 straight hours of trying to, come up with the words and the verbiage to get someone to take your business is going to exhaust you. And some people don't get it. They think you're being lazy, whatever. I don't really care less what people think. So, as long as the results speak for themselves, I'm cool with it.
And I'll tell you something else. And it's a habit, but it still can be exhausting. Learning how to really listen, it can be tiresome. It can be tiresome because if you're really listening to somebody and super focused, sometimes it takes, I got to listen to every word. I got to watch your body language or listen to your tone. If you've done that on 10, 15 calls, you need a break from that kind of focus. I need to think about silly stuff. I need to think about the Road Warriors entrance or, how they came into the ring. I need a break. I need to watch Gunnar Miller and have them talk for a minute where I don't have to.
Right. Well, Clint, one thing that we have the advantage of for that is podcasting. Podcasting, you have to be a good listener because if you're not listening, you can't ask that next question. So I think podcasting has helped me more in sales than like sales itself, if that makes sense.
Oh, it makes complete sense. Hey, we're rubbing on 20 minutes, and I told you I was going to keep it short. Another thing I noticed is I'm going to have to eventually cut my own hair because I can't go anywhere. I got stuff going on with me, but I can't. So I told my daughter that night I may have to do the dad mohawk, just to celebrate the quarantine. And she goes, Dad, you're old. If you do that, it's not going to look professional and everybody's going to laugh at you. And I go, if they've not laughed at me by now, they've not been paying attention. So just throwing that out there.
I don't know if you've been following Jocko Willink. I know you're a fan of him, but he's got the whole hashtag tighten it up right now, and he's got people shaving their heads across the country and sending him.
I've had it before.
Yeah.
Sorry, I interrupted you, but I've had the bald head, dude. I've had the and it looks, I look weird. I look like I ought to be asking you to get in my van and help me look for a puppy.
Well, see, I went kind of minimalist. I've been doing like one haircut, one beard trim a month prior to all this happening, and it is like kind of scheduled around my professional wrestling appearances.
Yeah.
Now, man, we're going in almost 2 months in without a haircut or a beard trim. I'm gonna be looking like a straight caveman here pretty soon. I might just
look like a lumberjack. You'll look like a lumberjack. Hey, by the way, did you like the video I sent you when me and my daughter were hiding the belt? Wasn't that funny?
Yeah, that was awesome. Made me want to do something like that around here.
Are you hot too, man?
And the video you did where you put the phone in the fridge and opened it up, that was hilarious too. I wanted to steal that from you, but I'm not going to do it so soon. I'll steal it in a couple weeks.
Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I did one in the laundry. I'll send it to you. The one when I was down putting laundry in, and I was talking about staying focused at work, at home.
Yeah.
These little ideas, that's the other thing, because I'm a hermit anyway, but because you're home and you're experiencing it, you're finding so many ways to be creative now because your brain is like, hey, I'm used to having something happen, and you've got some downtime.
Yeah. Plenty of downtime, plenty of time to learn something. A lot of people are just going to tune it all out and just go on autopilot and then hope this thing's over in a few months and then you're still the same person or even worse. This is a great time to focus on your diet, to focus on your exercise, to focus on getting out in nature, and to focus on yourself. If you can't learn something during this time, you're doing something wrong because you got plenty of time.
Dude, I can't think of a better way to end the video. Tell everybody how they can find more content from you, and then we'll do this again maybe next week or in a couple of days.
Yeah, would love to. So for me, I do a weekly podcast. It is Chat with Gunner, CHATT with Gunner, all one word on YouTube. Go subscribe to it, go like it, go share it. And you can also find us on Apple Podcast and Spotify. I have Instagram and Twitter, but it's all Chat with Gunner. You can all find it that way. All the links are at the YouTube channel and on Apple Podcasts. So if you want to listen, you want to subscribe, you want to share it, I'd really appreciate it.
There you go, buddy. Man, stay healthy. I've said this before. We say that. We used to say it, hey, man, be safe. And we were just kind of saying it as a way to, say goodbye. Now when we say it, we mean it, man. I hope you and the family stay healthy and safe, dude.
Yeah, absolutely. You too, man. I appreciate you having me on.
No problem. We'll catch up soon.
Bye.
See you, buddy.